Hold on, I need. Hello. We are live. We had some technical difficulties, so I'm gonna work to kind of switch up and tell you guys where to go. So bear with us a moment. Okay. So if you are here waiting, I'm just quick going through and making sure everyone knows where our show is. How's everyone doing today?
Mine says only 3 people are waiting. Here says 9. Oh. Wow, there are people already in the chat. Mine wasn't updating for some reason.
All right, we just told a bunch of you to come over and visit us over here. Hopefully you saw. Hello, Michigan. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I will tell you, this is the last time I'm using the native YouTube live feature because I scheduled it and then it wouldn't let us update. So I don't know what the issue was. Phil, pretend to be engaged. Phil's busy chatting.
I'm trying to get people to come over to
the
actual video.
They saw the link, so I'm just trying to post it on our Facebook page, and somewhere else I posted it.
Pretend to be engaged. Whatever, man. Whatever.
All right. All right, guys, just sending a couple more people over here. Thank you for being so patient.
Zeus is not, he's not happy. He's not happy that I've taken him off my lap. He wants to go back to sleep. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, guys, one more spot. For being so patient. I really
Their
appreciate
thumbs
it.
challenged? What the heck does that mean?
I don't know. This is what happened. So we scheduled the live and it shows the live on the back end of our page. It won't give us anywhere to go live. Like when I go into our live section, it says I don't have any scheduled events, but there's another like non-live content section that it says it's scheduled. So it's a whole thing. Obviously it was scheduled. You guys could go to the original link.
Okay. So most importantly, let's show off our snack selection. So today we have some Bridgeford, the premium brand smokehouse sausage sticks, the Sweet Baby Ray's original recipe. Those are mine. I have this not fill-sized bag of cheddar and sour cream ruffles, and also premium Wegmans ginger flavored water.
Give this to.
Okay. Well, Cheez-Its. Communal Cheez-Its.
It's the battle of the Cheez-Its because I have these Cheez-Its, the extra toasty, which are
toasty,
better.
Burnt. The ones they were going to throw away, and then a marketing genius was like,
they're way more delicious.
We'll market these as extra toasty, even though they're burnt. And we'll make money off of them because people like the word toasty.
You can. Paul says you can buy the beef on the Mouse and Mermaid store.
No, you can't. No, you cannot. That is a lie.
Okay.
That just reminded me of Bridgerton. Amy says, "I don't."
So Amy posted on Facebook the other day that they got rid of the best character on Bridgerton.
Why was he the best character on Bridgerton?
Ask any female.
What does that even mean?
Okay. You guys can explain in the comments what I mean.
Okay.
What else are they saying? Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be that person on my phone in the live. I'm just trying to share on our Instagram the
You
correct
can win
link.
the beef throughout most perfect giveaway. No, there's no beef jerky available for grabs. There's no meat available to.
In actuality, Phil has about how many pounds of beef in your office right now?
Well, minus what we've eaten, we started with 60 pounds. There's probably 59 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, there's a serious problem.
Zeus brought his Disney. Thank you. Thank you for the kisses. Zeus brought his Walt Disney World Spirit jersey. Cheez-Its are my guilty pleasure. Your beef jerky is called Bridgeford because he was hot, Phil. Gross. He must be handsome. He's hot, Phil. Man meat.
Who said man meat?
He's hot, Phil, man, because he burns for her. I don't understand that reference. Phil, remember when I told you what Bridgerton was? Yes, soft core.
Okay, let's keep this.
Let's keep this family friendly. I like the mini spirit jersey. I thought it would be jerky of the month. Hi, Breezy.
Hi, Breezy.
Now it's just jerk of the month. Yeah, Amy's running the jerk of the month club. Oh, Jim. Jim says hello. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Welcome. Phil's extra special meat shop. How about no? Oh, Zeus is trying to get to the jerky. No jerky for you, Zeus.
Okay. I think we're in good shape, people.
No, that was something else of the. Yes, I believe it started with a D. I made it worse. I'm sorry.
You did make it worse.
I'm sorry.
Okay, well, let's get to the real meat of this video. All right, I just want to catch up on these. Yeah, technology does never work when you want it to. So I've used StreamYard in the past for streaming our videos, and that works way better. So I will be using that moving forward. Yay. Yes, Paul, I was. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, guys. Wow. So let's dive into the magical and tragical, Phil. We just got back from our trip a couple days ago.
Yeah. I'm helping my mom find this new stream. Please don't freak out.
No. So Phil and I made a list. Well, I made a list and wrote it down and sent it to Phil. So I will go first. What should I do first, Phil? Tragical or magical?
We don't want to finish with positivity. Or wow. We don't want to finish with negativity, so let's start with negativity.
Okay, we'll start with the negativity. So my first tragical about our Disney trip was the glacial park openings, just openings in general. So restaurants are opening so slowly, rides are opening so slowly. There's just so much, I feel like, of a backup of need of just more things being opened. And everyone complains, oh, it's not 35%. It's 35%. It's just not enough stuff is open. Everything's backed up.
It's not 35%.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't care what they say.
Okay.
They're probably operating closer to 50 or 60%.
No.
Why do you say no?
Because, like, the huge amphitheaters aren't open. There's multiple amphitheaters in every park.
Yeah, you think people are just loitering in the amphitheaters during the day?
No, they're not. Like, they don't go there, so the crowds aren't being eaten up.
to those of you who have been to the parks in the last, I don't know, month, tell us what you think their current operational capacity is. I say they're operating somewhere between 50 and 60%.
All right. Anything else to say about the openings?
No, I fully agree with you. There's not enough stuff open. Trying to go anywhere walk-up wise or getting a reservation last minute is impossible, even more impossible than it used to be. There's nothing available. You need to, if you're not planning ahead, I hope you like Grubhub, people, because and even that is a stretch, because I tried to, for reasons we don't need to get into, I tried to order Grubhub to our Bay Lake Tower room one evening, and the wait time for the average restaurant on that list was over an hour and a half to get food.
Yeah.
So I know when I travel and I do Grubhub, because I don't like to, in some of the areas I travel, they're former like COVID hotspots. And even though I'm vaccinated now, there's no need to take a risk. I don't like to go out to the local restaurants because, well, some parts of the world, they're not really engaged in being safe.
Yeah.
So I order food to the room, and I can tell you it's usually there within 40 minutes. Definitely not an hour and a half just to wait to get the food prepared. So multiple confirmations have stated it's still at 35%. I agree with Pauline. Remember, it's 35% of max capacity, like New Year's Eve numbers. Most people will never know what 100% feels like.
Yeah, that's true, Elaine.
I believe our Lord and Savior Bob Chapek says 35%. David, if I didn't love you, I'd ban you for that comment. The larger shows are not absorbing crowds.
No.
Well, I've got my opinion, you've got yours, and if you trust Bob Chapek to tell you the truth, I've got a bridge to sell you, bud.
All right, Phil. Do you have a tragical?
I do. My first tragical is Hilton Bonnet Creek. So Pauline and I only have 175 points to work with, and we've got some pretty big aspirations for 2022. So we're saving up points. So we've been supplementing our trips with a day here and a day there at a Hilton, because I travel frequently and I only stay in Hiltons, and I have, well, until last night, I had a ton of Hilton points. So we supplemented the last night of our trip at the Hilton Bonnet Creek, because we heard good things. The Bonnet Creek resort area is very high end. The only two resorts there are a full-fledged Hilton and then a Waldorf Astoria, and they're attached. So we thought
Hilton properties.
Correct. There's Wyndham's, the Club Wyndham timeshares over there as well, and there's a JW Marriott. But that's still a nice area, and those are nice hotels. As far as your normal run-of-the-mill hotel goes, like not Ritz-Carlton level stuff or Four Seasons, but we figured that the amenities would be nice and the property would be a little bit nicer, and it wasn't. We had a much better experience at the Hilton Buena Vista Palace by Disney Springs, and they share similar point values too. I think the last night we booked the Buena Vista Palace again for an upcoming trip, and it's 50,000 Hilton points a night, and I believe Hilton Bonnet Creek was 56,000 points. So for 6,000 less points a night, we could have stayed at the Buena Vista Palace and had a better time.
Yeah. So, and to say the Buena Vista Palace and the Bonnet Creek both have a lazy river, but Buena Vista Palace their lazy river is much better because it's a little smaller, but their lazy river also has a pool and it has like a kid's splash pad. It's all kind of in this area. So it's a pretty robust pool setting. I mean, frankly, comparative to any of the Disney resorts, it might be a better pool. I mean, it's not themed in any way, but the base pool, I mean, what resort has a pool? I mean, other than Beach Club, there's no resort that has a lazy river.
Well, people were about to burn the house down if you didn't say Stormalong Bay. I think as far as better pools, I think the pool at Caribbean Beach is better. I like that pool a lot. I like the pool at Polynesian better. And obviously, I've never been in Stormalong Bay. I've now walked beside Stormalong Bay, so I can actually see what
it looks really cool.
It does look really cool. So I will say that, yes, this Hilton, don't get us wrong, Disney.
It's a Hilton.
Yeah, it's a Hilton.
It's not a Disney resort.
But as far as pools go, it's a very, very, very nice pool. And they have a pool bar that has great drinks and amazing food. And I'm thrilled to be staying there again soon.
Yeah. And so Bonnet Creek versus Buena Vista, Bonnet Creek, where we stayed this time, the pool bar was overrun with just like families everywhere. They weren't, the pool was a disaster. There was bird poop literally on every single chair. Okay. And they had this flag system, which was a great idea. It was like, there will be a flag up on a chair if it has been cleaned and sanitized, and you can sit in said chair. Flags were all over the place. Nothing was being cleaned. I could tell the only thing happening was towels were being picked up with by very disgruntled Hilton employees. So the pool was just a disaster. Our room was nice.
It was.
It didn't have a balcony, and I've decided that is something I want always. Comment and tell me if you love having balconies in your room, because I do.
Okay, so Hilton, I can personally attest, and everyone in the chat that knows what I'm talking about, shut up. I can personally attest that Hilton's cleaning standards are not as they're advertising. They're not doing thorough cleaning jobs. They're not inspecting the rooms properly. They're not taking cleaning serious really at all. So, yes, balconies are the best. Hi, Mom. I'm glad you found the right stream. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties.
Magic is right, though. I never use the
Viper Magic.
No. Magic in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I never actually use the balcony, but I just want one.
I used it.
It's like, I don't know what it is. I just want a balcony. I felt like almost a little trapped in the room.
I don't care about potentially getting in trouble. If I could guarantee you that I wouldn't inconvenience or bother either of my neighbors on either side, I would have smoked cigars out there. That would have been my paradise on earth. That's what I would have done. But unfortunately, because I can't guarantee that, and I don't want to get snitched on for asking, hey, do you mind if I smoke cigars on my balcony? I can't. So,
$200 charge, Phil.
David Zachary says $200 charge. I wouldn't smoke it in the room. Like, you really
I think that still counts, though.
Of course it would count.
Oh.
I understand that. Okay. But I've been smoking cigars long enough where I can get away with it. I can make sure that no one knows that I was smoking a cigar.
And Amy Power, I had morning coffee on the balcony 2 days with a Gideon's cookie for breakfast, because why not, right?
I used the balcony. I was out there multiple times. I sat out there with David and showed him how to clean his sunglasses. I sat out there by myself and watched the thing that goes around.
The electrical water pageant.
Yes. So, balconies for the win. Heading to Animal Kingdom for my birthday. We'll spend all day on the balcony. Jim?
Yeah.
That is the right thing.
That is the best balcony.
That balcony is probably top tier balcony.
Yeah.
The only balcony I can imagine would be better in any way, shape, or form is probably a Bay Lake balcony that faces Magic Kingdom at night with fireworks.
When fireworks are happening.
Correct.
Yeah. Here's the other thing I gotta say about Hilton Bonnet Creek. The service was atrocious, honestly.
Yes.
We tried to call down because we were going to go to Disney Springs and get food, and then we just decided we're too tired. So we were trying to see what was available for us to get for food. We were on hold for a good 40 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was to get to the front desk. It was just insane.
And you can't go down and talk to them either, because they're either not there. There's either no one at the front desk or the line is out the door. So it's just we talk about Disney being understaffed. Hilton Bonnet Creek is woefully understaffed at the moment.
And so my only little caveat to this whole thing is it was spring break, and literally this seemed like the spring break resort for people to go to. I heard people talking at the pool we drove down, we're staying here a couple nights and then we're going here. So it just seemed kind of, I don't know, maybe they were giving a good deal or something. I don't know. There were a lot of people there.
It's not an inexpensive resort. I think that specific Hilton is $250 to $350 a night if you stay there cash.
So But yeah, so if you're ever considering staying off property at a Good Neighbor Hotel, we've stayed at the Bonnet Creek and the Buena Vista Palace. To me, Buena Vista Palace is 10 times better.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the next stop on that trip is back to the Bonnet Creek area, but it'll be the Waldorf. But I have to build some points back up because I don't know. We're not announcing it right now.
No.
We? Okay. Well, we've got some exciting news coming up. I don't know when we're announcing it, but it will be announced, and we've used points for that.
okay. So
Yes.
do you want to do? Oh, I'll do a magical. All right. Well, this is kind of bouncing off the Hilton debacle of like bird poop everywhere on the lazy river. Like, it just made me appreciate Disney's cleanliness so much. Disney is so clean. Like, we've stayed at Art of Animation, and it's not Phil's favorite place, but even the value resorts are so clean compared to other hotels outside of Disney property. And I think you just have to know, people are like, oh, what's the value of a Disney resort? I don't know. It's just the quality is still there despite them taking away things. I see the quality and cleanliness still there.
I agree. Absolutely.
We're going to Kennywood. Yep. Secrets out.
What's Kennywood?
I don't know, like Dollywood?
Like a crappier Dollywood?
Probably.
Okay.
I don't.
Jim's texting me on the side asking for the announcement. Jim wants the inside track.
All right. Anyways, so anything else about Disney cleanliness that you want to share? It's clean. That's all I got.
It's very clean, yeah. Disney is clean. Jim, I'll text you back in a minute, bud.
Okay. What's your magical, Phil?
I thought we were doing tragicals first.
Oh, no, we bounce back and
with
forth.
All positivity.
We're going to finish with positivity. It'll work out that way.
Well, my number 5 tragical was Hilton Bonnet Creek, so I guess I'll do my number 5. I don't know how this got listed as number 5.
It's not in any order.
Okay. These aren't in order?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, Kennywood's in Pittsburgh. I didn't realize. You know what? Okay, just like a quick aside. There is Legoland coming to New York.
Yeah, but Legoland.
I had no idea.
5-year-olds.
I know. I still want to go. I'm sorry. I just want to go. I think it would be fun.
Okay, so my number 5 magic. Wow, the first magical I'm going to say is Flower and Garden Festival. That was magical for me. I love that festival. I know that this is no surprise to any of you because you all know me. Flower and Garden Festival, in my opinion, is the best Epcot festival. I would say Flower and Garden here, food and wine somewhere down here, and then whatever you want to do, and then like Festival of the Arts, like say that like way up here where my hand, where you can't see my hand, that's like Flower and Garden. The Festival of the Arts is like somewhere down.
He's never been to Festival of the Arts.
Well, no, there's Figment everywhere.
Oh, okay.
It's like a festival of Figment. Are you kidding me? Like all the festivals feature that purple moron, but that one is like a unique, like there's pieces of art. No.
You also missed a great question from your mom. Who is Bob Chapek? Which is it's a loaded question.
Bob Chapek is the devil. That's who Bob Chapek is. We've got levels of evil. Here's Lucifer falling from heaven. Okay. And then Lucifer falling from heaven, actually Satan now. And then here's Bob Chapek, like somewhere up here.
He shines his bald head with the tears of Disney fans.
With the tears of cast members.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yes, so Flower and Garden is my favorite also. I think for me, it combines like the best of both. Like, even though we haven't been to Festival of the Arts, I would be excited to go because I do love Disney art. We love hanging Disney art in our home. So I feel like Flower and Garden has the aesthetic. aesthetically pleasingness of Festival of the Arts, plus the delicious food of Food and Wine.
Amy Powers says that the Flower Garden Festival food isn't as good as Food and Wine.
I don't know.
agree.
I can't really
I
speak.
don't agree.
We did not eat enough of Food and Flower and Garden food.
Well, because
Big problem.
Elaine just had to have her champagne beer, and then we're stumbling around Epcot. Vladimir loves Bob Chapek. Go away, Vladimir. Can we have David back? Can we just have normal David? Well, normal David. Can we just have our regular strange David?
LOL, oops, Elaine.
Elaine, it's totally not your fault. We went.
We didn't go back. So I had like a foot problem when we were in Disney. I got a blister.
No, here's
so
the
it
problem.
just held us back a little bit.
Here's the problem. We went to Festival Showplace, and I was so intent on making Paul and Amy try every single thing on the menus that we ordered way too much food, and we got full, and it was hot, and we didn't want to go anywhere else. Mm-hmm. That is what happened. Like, Amy and Paul were ready to go to other booths, and we filled them with food, and then no one wanted to eat anything else.
Yeah.
And David came with his stupid path, and then we just wanted to get out of there before he started squealing, Elmo loves you. So,
is it my turn?
I believe that it is. It's time for you to say something negative.
Okay, cool. All right, let's see what I got to say that was tragical. Okay, here's tragical. And this is like not all tragical. So like, yeah. But the Boathouse Brunch, tragical. Okay? Hear me out. My food was very good. I enjoyed my food. But how they presented the Boathouse Brunch, this was a presentation of the experience, was that you got to, can I just say, like, Phil's watching all the comments, so your head's just like down in the corner the whole time.
They know what I'm doing. You guys are veterans of these lives. She's gonna stay perfect, and I'm gonna be all over the place and eating snacks. And occasionally
I'm eating a lot of snacks. I didn't eat today, so I'm like going crazy on the cheese. Anyways, yes. So Boathouse presents the brunch as this like fun environment where there's live music and you're gonna do sing-alongs and it's gonna be so much fun. We literally were in the room directly adjacent to where the music was. Not in the same room, but right adjacent, and you could barely hear the music. Our whole table would like go silent and be like, what is this song? And yeah, so it wasn't this like lively, fun environment that you would expect. Now, my second complaint with the Boathouse Brunch was the menu. So first of all, when we sat down, first of all,
you want me to be engaged? This is engaged. I'm going to mock you the entire time.
So they sat us down with the menus. And I can't even focus.
Would you like me to go back to reading comments?
Sure. Okay. They sat us down with the menus. They gave us all lunch dinner menus, and then they gave us one brunch menu. It's like they didn't even want us to purchase brunch. And here's what I also have to say. Other than the crab cake Benedict, which I got, everything else was just, can you just read? Just go read. Come on.
All right.
Everything else was just basic brunch food that you could, like IHOP probably has better options. I mean, quality-wise, no, but like inventiveness wise. Like they have a Belgian waffle and it had no topping. Like why do you not have like a compote in your boathouse? So like make it like a key lime compote or something. Like get a little creative with the menu. It was so basic and standard. I don't know. I just think if you're gonna go out of your way and make a brunch and make a big deal about it, think a little more about the menu and how it connects back to your restaurant. And it also, sorry, I'm going on a rant, but it also drives me crazy because Boathouse is so good with their dinner menu. And I feel like they do a really great job of, I usually get a fish. They do a great job of making their fish seasonal. It's not always summer, like pineapple, chutney or whatever on the top. It feels fall in the fall. It feels wintry in the winter, which I think is they're thoughtful about their flavor profiles throughout the seasons. They were not thoughtful about this brunch menu.
And breathe. So what you have all just witnessed and I am so proud to say, is Pauline's first fill rant. That's what that was. Pauline has to like take a drink and like calm down now. The first fill rant can be an intense thing. I'm glad it was about a brunch. Pauline is serious about her brunches, people. Anywhere there is a brunch, Pauline will go to that place and not order.
I love brunch. That was the problem. It was fine, but it was not. They could do so much better. It's like if you're a parent and your kid gets like a C on the test and it's like, they passed, but you know they could get a freaking A if they put some effort in. That's how I feel about you, Boathouse.
What if he's having a tough day?
No excuses. You got to be on all 4 cylinders all times.
All 4 cylinders?
I don't know how many cylinders are there.
I mean, it depends. It depends. But you don't own a 4-cylinder vehicle, which is why I'm confused. Both of our cars are 6 cylinders.
Oh, okay.
And the general statement is just running on all cylinders because there's so many different varieties. But if you want to imply power, you would probably say all 8 cylinders.
Okay.
Just for future reference. Pauline is disoriented from her phone.
We got to catch up on the chat now.
Oh, we can read the chat now?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Horrible blisters at Disney. Yes. So Magic, I had like a process and my blisters healed pretty quickly. But I didn't do it the first day and it held me back a day. So I know for next time how to remedy this.
Yeah. So kind of playing off of what Pauline just said, my next tragedy, or do we want to address
I think we want to address some comments, but I think Magic in Michigan brings up something funny. They got a blister because a lady with a stroller ran on them and tore their toe pretty bad. I'm sorry to laugh, but like that's like,
what kind of shoes were you wearing that a stroller took you out?
I don't know, but those people with strollers can get a little crazy.
Yeah, it seems like the angriest people in the world are the people not with a single stroller, but with a double wide stroller.
Yeah, well, because they got more kids to be upset about. So Elaine says it could have been so much better. Yes, Elaine, yes. So there was a pianist, Amy, but it was so faint you could barely hear. You could barely hear it.
There were 2 men playing piano. They're the people from Jelly Rolls.
The thing is, they were just playing. They didn't pipe the music into the restaurant at all, and they didn't. When they sat you down, they didn't ask you if you wanted a more engaging or less engaging experience. Like
No.
Okay.
No. There were seats available in that first room.
Okay.
There were, but we got there, and David tried some stuff to get us in that boat. Like when you walk in behind the reception desk, there were actions taken to really try to get this boat. It didn't work out. We would have had to wait. Turns out our wait would have only been about 20 minutes to get that boat, but we didn't know that. So David asked, "Hey, can we sit in this boat?" They're like, "No, but we have another boat we can put you on." So we're thinking, great, that's awesome. They take us to this adjacent room. We're not far away at all. You know what this other boat was? It was a booth. Just a booth. It wasn't a boat. It wasn't a boat by any.
It was a half boat.
Yeah, it wasn't a boat by any stretch of the imagination. It was just a booth. So.
Yeah, and so I got the crab cake Benedict. It was excellent. It was just it could have been so much better.
John Purcell says I got the double stroller and drive it like it's demolition derby.
So when Bill is in the pool, he's a Harry Battleship. So what would someone driving a stroller be? A double stroller. They need a name.
Apparently, John Purcell is an irresponsible psychopath. Amy Power, to answer your question, I went up there to bribe them to play a song that would annoy Paul and Amy. And I didn't catch their names. They were just wearing captain's hats and smiling at me, and I was kind of like bopping to the music. But also people were looking at me, and I could feel that heat on the back of my neck, so I just scribbled on the paper and ran away as quick as possible. I didn't stop to ask them their names. I don't know their names.
Yeah, I would have liked to hear the music too, Amy. So Boathouse Brunch was a C. I would give it a B, but yeah, I also want to give it a C because I know how good Boathouse can be. Genuinely, like, fine. You're just like, well, they're usually fine, so we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Boathouse is always good to us, so I just feel like they could have been so much better.
I got my pimento cheese dip, so I had a great time.
He's obsessed with that.
If you've ever had pimento cheese dip and you agree with me that it's the best dip in the entire world, go ahead and leave that comment. Because Pauline always says, "Oh, I hate the pimento cheese dip," but as soon as I order it, she's like, "Oh, can I?"
Yeah, I do end up liking it when you get it.
Yeah, every time, every single time. It's a vicious cycle.
It's because it's just like calamari. Phil always needs to get fried calamari literally everywhere we go. And it's just like, can we try something new, please?
No, why would I need, like, we do try something new. And we get the pimento cheese dip because that's half the reason I go to Boathouse.
I'm wrong. It's amazing.
Amy Power, we're so happy to hear that you had a good time at Boathouse.
Yes.
It's not that we had a bad time. It's just that it wasn't as much as we were expecting because they've been hyping it up on Instagram and other influencers have been hyping it up on Instagram. And the truth is, the pianos are put in a place in the main room where if you are literally in the adjacent room with a huge open door, you cannot hear the music.
It's all they needed, but I think Amy had said that they piped them in. So maybe for some reason they weren't piped in the day we were there, which I don't know. We don't know. We don't have all the answers. We just are here to complain about it.
Yes. We're here to complain. We're not here to offer solutions. We're here to complain.
All right. Amy didn't get the dip because she was alone. We're gonna have to go with you next time and get the dip together.
Amy, that is not an excuse. Okay. Even if I was alone. If I was alone, I'd go and order 2 orders of that pimento cheese.
Gosh.
And that's all I would eat because there'd be no one there to judge me other than the strangers that I don't care about.
All right, Phil. How about a tragical for you?
That was a tragical.
Yeah, but you have other tragicals.
Yeah, but we just did mine.
No, I did the Boathouse brunch.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Your turn now.
Forgive me. I think I started and then we went into a diatribe. Sorry. So my next tragical is...
Oh, hold on one second. Magic asked if they had the honey rolls. Yes, they had the honey rolls, but they also did them brunch with like a cinnamon bun topping on top, which I really enjoyed. But they also let you get the regular rolls too. Because
Amy Krieger is the one person in the world that doesn't like cinnamon buns at brunch. She's like, "Oh, cinnamon buns? No, thank you."
was that her exact reaction?
No, actually, she was super sweet about it. She's like, "Yeah, you guys should eat that extra one because I'm not going to eat them, and I'll just add, but I'm going to be a dick about it." So, sorry, sometimes I forget this is a family channel. Okay, so my next tragical was kind of a play off of the whole Boathouse thing, but not necessarily because I would just say COVID dining at Disney World in general. The options are limited. There's a lot of really good restaurants that are out of commission right now for one reason or another. Ohana, Chico, Flying Fish.
Yeah.
The Mara just came back, but that was gone for a while too. I just, it's really hard to get reservations anywhere. We were looking at reservations and there was some availability, but it was the less popular restaurants and it was super late at night, like getting seated at like 8:55. When we went to make our ADRs, 60 days out, the best we could do for California Grill was like 9 o'clock at night. And we ended up not even going because I don't know. We would have, and it probably would have been better than how the night actually turned out. In fact, there's no way it couldn't have been better than how the night actually turned out.
I enjoyed my evening because I planned appropriately. We're not getting into this. Anyways.
The only thing you could find was super late at night. And that's just I don't like to eat super, super late like that. I get acid reflux and then I'm up half the night and it's just not my thing. So Disney dining right now. And so for Pauline's and my honeymoon, we went December of 2019 before the pandemic was a thing. And we went to a restaurant called Blue Zoo. I believe it's in the Dolphin. It's in one of either the Swan or the Dolphin. I'm pretty sure it's the Dolphin. And we had one of the best meals ever. And the service was phenomenal. We had a main server and then a backup server. The food was paced properly. The server was incredibly attentive and just on point. The food was amazing. The menu was more than half a page long.
Yeah.
And then, so based on the strength of that meal, we recommended that our group go back. And I kind of some people said that they were less than impressed. Some people said they had a good time, but I still feel bad in my heart.
I'm embarrassed by the restaurant, frankly.
I am. I take, this is going to sound stupid. I take my restaurant recommendations very seriously. I don't like to steer people the wrong way because This place is not inexpensive. People paid a lot of money to eat here. And I feel that they got a subpar experience because
Yes.
this is a seafood restaurant. And I don't know if you guys in your areas are feeling the same things that we are here in Western New York. But when we go to local places here, they usually don't have their fish menus, their fish options on the menu because it's hard to get seafood.
Yeah, I think seafood's struggling because of COVID.
Yeah, so I don't know what the reality of that situation is,
Yeah.
commercial fishing and stuff like that. But it was not up to snuff, and I feel bad that I gave that as a recommendation.
But it was also the food
Yeah.
was not up to snuff.
No, it
Like the
wasn't.
menu was smaller, the food quality was not the same, but also the service. Like we were a party of I think 9.
Yeah.
We were a party of 2 and we had 2 servers. We were a party of 9 and we had 1.
Yeah.
I literally had to ask like 4 times for him to give me my unsweetened iced tea.
Yeah.
Our friend Dave.
It didn't come until the end of
Yes.
David.
Did he take it off the bill either? Probably not.
No.
Like, if you forget something that many times, I'm sorry, you take it off the bill. You just do.
All right. Well, we're not going to get into the entitlement stuff. Like, is that a basic common courtesy and something that any reasonable server would do? Yes. But you can't have those expectations. But we had a member of our group sitting on our side of the table that ordered mahi.
Yes.
And the guy sitting across from me, Paul. So David ordered the mahi, and Paul sitting across from me ordered the mahi. The server came in and told Paul, "We're out of the mahi. Would you like a different selection?" He chose snapper. He didn't even look at David, who had also ordered the exact same thing as Paul. He just gave Paul snapper, or he just gave them both snapper. So, like, David paid $50 for this fish or whatever it was for a fish he didn't want.
Yeah. When the food came, the guy was like, "Oh, I gave you snapper."
Yeah.
Like, not even
teasing David and saying, "Oh, he asked you, you didn't hear him." The reality is, he never. I mean, he just. How crazy and unacceptable is that a restaurant, like a server, is just going to decide what you're going to eat and pay for and tip him on? Like, I understand that it was just one guy taking care of 9 people. The restaurant was not at capacity. There were people kind of milling about over by like the actual preparation area that could have been supporting this guy and helping him out. But the other thing is the guy wasn't writing stuff down. He was just winging it. Like Paul ordered risotto tots as an appetizer. They didn't come till after he was halfway through his entree. We ordered them as a side for our entrees, and they didn't. I had to remind him that we ordered him, and he had to go put them in to be made. I didn't. It was so loud. I didn't get to talk with a lot of people that were in the middle or end portion of the table. I don't know how their experience was, but there was some stuff happening on our end of the table. And it's just like, so as a statement to Disney dining during COVID in general, it's a greatly diminished experience for the most part. And that's one of my tragicals because dining is one of the main reasons I go there.
Yes. So the other thing too, I will say about like COVID dining is just like the reduced service. By like 10:30 or maybe even earlier than 10:30, there's like nowhere to eat. And I feel like after the parks close, there needs to be places still open, especially because they're closing earlier. Like that's what Phil ran into that one night is like he really was trying to get something to eat and there wasn't really much opened late. And I know our friends flew in and got into Disney a little bit later. And I think they had like 2 options to choose from in terms of dining. And they got in at like 9 o'clock or something. It just, they need more food options.
Yeah.
And open for a longer period of time.
Yeah, whatever. So that's my rant on my tragical. Let's address some comments because we got quite a few.
Yeah.
So Amy Power says, I ate my face off that whole trip. It was day 1 maybe, but this was my last day. I was full for days. Yeah. I looked at my Apple Health app, and despite it being 90 degrees on average every day and walking an average of 8.6 miles per day, I still gained 3 pounds this trip. So I know what you're talking about, Amy. I wasn't really hungry for much when we got back. I can assure you of that. Jim is sad about Victoria and Albert's. Jim, I know you and Rachel love Victoria and Albert's. It'll be back, buddy. Don't fret.
Here's what I have to say about that, though, and we'll talk about this other restaurant, but we went to Bull and Bear, and their service was like, it felt unaltered in every way from how you would probably experience it with not in COVID time. So I don't
But
understand.
they're not a Disney restaurant.
Yeah,
so.
but I don't understand why Disney just can't. I don't know.
Because Disney has hamstrung themselves with all of their restrictions and safety precautions, which is good on one hand, but it screws things up.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Magic in Michigan says they better not try the old switcheroo again when Ohana comes back, replacing noodles with rice. Oh my God.
No, that would be terrible.
If Bob Chapek, and yes, he makes these decisions. If Bob Chapek takes those noodles away from me and replaces them with rice, that is it. That's it.
We're gonna noodle his house. Like TP, but with noodles.
That would actually be funny. I think the noodle to rice change was a temporary thing when they ran out of noodles that week. The noodles came back a few days later. Okay, thank you, Amy. I feel better now. David asked, who was your group for Blue Zoo? We had Lauren, Tim, Elaine, Amy, Paul, David, Pauline, and myself.
What is that, 9? I don't know. I can't count right now.
Well, whatever. That was our group. Then Amy, oh God. Amy, regular buns are what? That's a good sign. I don't know what's happening.
The regular buns at Blue Zoo are good. That's what she's referring to.
Amy Power says, I completely agree with you. I've been to Blue Zoo several times and I love it. Our experience did not live up to any of those experiences. Food-wise, company-wise, it was excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I just feel bad because I feel like, I don't know, when you go to Disney and you experience something and you want to share it with other people and it just doesn't live up to what you've experienced before, it's almost like embarrassing. It's like inviting someone over to your house and they burn the food or something.
Yeah. Jim asks, is Blue Zoo a Disney restaurant or one of those weird subcontracted places? So Blue Zoo is owned by celebrity chef Todd English. It's one of his multitude of restaurants around the world, and it's in the Dolphin Hotel, which is a Disney Good Neighbor hotel in the Epcot Resort area. So It's not owned by Disney, but it's on Disney property, sort of. But I mean, it's Disney adjacent. I can say that.
Well, I can say service-wise for our honeymoon was excellent. I mean, it was the best service we had on property during our honeymoon.
Yeah. David says, okay, so other people answered Jim's question, but I didn't get there in time. So sorry for answering it twice. David says that they went to Earl of Sandwich and it was amazing. And Earl of Sandwich is one of their late night options. It doesn't close till 11. So that is an option.
But the fact that you have to trug over to Disney Springs to get food is ridiculous. There should be stuff open late everywhere.
Yeah. All hail Bob Chapman. David, I am about to mute you in the chat. Stop it. So it's your turn.
Okay.
We're all caught up on comedy.
We did Tragical.
So
let's get a little happy, guys. Okay. So my magical, I kind of alluded to this already, and I think Amy mentioned in the comments too. Magical was Bull and Bear. So we ate at Bull and Bear. It's at the Waldorf Astoria, which is a Good Neighbor hotel in Walt Disney World. And it was fantastic. So I think where Bull and Bear shines is there's a lot of table side preparation of things. And this was unaltered. From what I could tell, they had it exactly the same as before COVID. So a couple things that we got table side. So we got the bowl, which was like a bourbon. They prepared like different like cherries and fruits in the drink, and then had a really cool ice cube and did stuff with dry ice, right? No, maybe not for that.
What
the bowl.
Oh, it was an old fashioned. So it was an old fashioned. So they made it an old fashioned. They made it mix an old fashioned. They put it into a decanter that's shaped like a bowl, a crystal bowl, and you take the tail off and you pour it out. And inside the glass there was a twisted. So they took a fresh orange.
Yeah, they did the whole thing.
And they peeled it at the table. He twisted it, rubbed the rim so that the rim had the orange zest on it. Then he put the twist in there with the ice block. It's a big block cube like you would do for a bourbon or a Manhattan or whatever. Dropped it in there, and then there was a special bourbon soaked, not a maraschino cherry. I forget.
Fancier cherry.
It was a Luxardo cherry, and then he poured the premixed old fashioned out of the bowls behind into the glasses. And
we didn't know which end the bourbon was going to come out.
He's either throwing up or taking it, whatever. Doesn't matter. It was great. It was one of the best old fashions I've ever had, and it's for 4 people. And it's $100. We split it 3 ways, Paul, David, and I, because there wasn't any other old fashioned drinkers that said that they wanted one. So, but it was really good, and it was an interesting experience. It was really cool to watch them make it tableside.
Yes, and so that was a tableside. We also got the fried chicken done tableside, so they bring the fried chicken out.
Get the fried chicken.
Yeah, it was the best thing there, in my opinion. They cut the fried chicken for you and plate it for you. They also plate some delicious potatoes and gravy, like mashed potatoes. So the whole plating experience tableside was just really fun. And while they're doing the tableside experience, they're explaining things to you. Where did this come from? What is it made of? All of kind of the intricacies. And we had Paul and Amy have been to Victoria and Albert, so they said it wasn't as in depth, but it was still nice to have most of the stuff explained to us what it was.
Yeah. And to clarify, Victoria and Albert's is a 5-diamond restaurant. Bull and Bear is a 4.
Yeah. So other what else was prepared tableside? Oh, Amy and Paul got a Caesar salad that was prepared tableside. And then they made ice cream tableside too with dry ice. So the whole thing was just delicious. The food was so good and inventive. Overall, it was great. And the service.
I was just going to say, if you're in a hurry, don't go there.
No, multiple hours.
This meal took 3 hours from start to finish.
Yeah.
And the food was paced appropriately, I feel.
Yeah. And I think Amy just put in chat, she brings up a good point. They're doing things similar to Victoria and Albert's for about 1/5 of the price. So you certainly aren't going to get us. We haven't been to Victoria and Albert's, so it seems like an extremely elevated experience. I mean, they give you like a tufted little stool to put your purse on. They do not do that at Bola and Bear, but it is still an elevated experience. You might want to get dressed up a little bit to go there, and you're going to have a fantastic night.
Who put a thumbs down on our video?
Rude.
Which one of you did that? Why?
Because Phil, you said you didn't like Figment or Bob Chapek. It was Bob Chapek, probably.
Oh, well, whatever. That's fine. We respect your opinion.
Anyways, I also want to talk about the service at Bull and Bear.
Yeah.
We literally had every single server attending to our table.
Yeah.
Which was so unlike any other dining experience I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. So they have a team circulating around. They have teams per dining room, is what I observed. So there was on the side. So Amy and I sat on the inside of this dividing wall to the other side of the dining room. That side of the dining room had its own head, like maitre d', and its own server team. And our dining room had its own head maitre d' and serving team. And every single member of this serving team, they would circulate. Like if they got done with one table that was behind you, they would come check on you and make their way back to the kitchen. And they coordinated very well. I've never been to Victoria and Albert's, so maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. Amy said you get 4 out of 5 of the whatever for a third the price. Bull and Bear is not an inexpensive restaurant. We spent a pretty penny for the two of us, but we ordered a lot of food. I don't know what the cost difference should be between a 4-diamond restaurant and a 5-diamond restaurant, but based on what they told me, I don't know why. I kind of lost my train of thought here. I don't know why Victoria and Albert's would be considered that much better than this restaurant, because this restaurant was one of the best places I've ever been to in my life. So
yeah, it was fantastic.
If you don't want to spend the kind of money that it takes to eat at Victoria and Albert's, and you don't want to wear a tuxedo or a formal gown, go to Bull and Bear, because it's going to be the exact same quality of food and the exact same experience, just without all the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah. So also, I just want to mention about the service staff too. It might seem a little crazy that you have like all these servers attending to your table. Like people wouldn't know what's going on, but like every server knew like what we were drinking. Like everyone knew everything about our table. It was just insane. Yeah. What would Matt? Oh, David said he disliked it. It probably was David.
It probably was David. Just driving down the algorithm, man.
No, anytime someone dislikes your video, it's still good for your video.
Okay, cool.
It means they're engaging. They just
thumbs down, people.
Was it a tasting? It was not a tasting menu at Bull and Bear. They do have, so Phil and I wanted to go there for Christmas, but they had a prefix menu. Mm-hmm. Now that we've been, I would maybe try the prefix menu.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I would, but
You and David go back together.
okay. Let's see. So there were a couple of comments. Yes, don't. So Amy just recommended to Magic in Michigan to not write Blue Zoo off, and I totally agree. Just wait until after COVID's over, and I think that's probably when you'll go anyway. So that's great. Yeah. Anything about Blue Zoo or Bull and Bear? Well, too many B restaurants we went to.
Bull and Bear is amazing, and you should get the fried chicken, because if you get the fried chicken, you get the mashed potatoes and gravy, and the gravy has
Yes.
foie gras in it.
Also get a
I would drink
pasta
that
explosion.
Yeah, get the pasta explosion. It has liquefied ham in it. Liquefied ham.
David's sending screenshots because he's worried.
David, I'm not going to check my phone. Okay, we're in the middle of something. Just relax, kid. I believe you that it wasn't you. It was probably Paul.
All right.
Is Paul even still here? He hasn't commented in a while. He must have skipped town.
He skipped town. Okay, Phil, what's your next magical thing?
My next magical, have I really only done one magical?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. My next magical was upgrade to 1 bedroom at Bay Lake Tower. So we arrived at Bay Lake Tower and checked into, we dropped our luggage off, and then we went to a park, and then they texted us that our room was ready. We went back a few hours later. We got into our room. We're hot. We're about to go meet up with friends for dinner. We need to take a shower. Pauline goes in the bathroom, tries to come back out to get something. She's trapped. The door is stuck. The door is stuck. And when I mean stuck, I mean it took all of my physical strength, of which there are many. There are many strengths. It took all of my physical strength to get this door open just enough so that Pauline could squeeze out, because this thing was stuck, dude. And I was so mad. I was thinking to myself, what if there had been a fire? What if there had been an emergency, or there was smoke or something? She would have been trapped in there with no way to get out. I was pissed. So we called maintenance, and they came. They couldn't fix it. This door was effed. So they're like, you can't stay in the room. We have to disassemble the whole thing and put a new one on. And they're like, we're going to call down and get your room moved. I'm like, I'm already completely unpacked. Like and that was not a fabrication to try to gain leverage with them. I was completely unpacked, and my suitcases were Russian nesting dolled together and put away, and Pauline was partially unpacked. So, and we were on a tight timetable. We needed to be somewhere by 5 o'clock. So I called down the manager. I'm like, dude, this is a situation. This is a huge inconvenience. Is there anything that you can do to make this easier for us? And after some back and forth and negotiating, we got upgraded to a 1 bedroom Lakeview, which was beautiful. And I kind of regret doing that, because we can't afford point-wise 1 bedrooms right now. And I never, ever, ever want to go back to a studio.
Same.
So, but that whole thing, having that extra space, being able to spread out. When I wanted to take a nap, Pauline could go out in the living room and watch TV, or be on her phone, or sit on the balcony, or do whatever she wanted. The full kitchen, the laundry room where we could store all our stuff, it changed kind of the overall tone of our relaxation periods in our room. Why are you smiling? Is someone saying something awful?
Because I was literally thinking this when you were talking about the story, because Magic in Michigan wrote LOL, and I knew exactly what they were thinking about me being trapped in the room, that I said, help me, I'm stuck, help me. Oh no, I said, I need help, when I got trapped under the chair.
I was like, why are you smiling like that?
And I was literally, when you said LOL Magic, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh man, but these 1 bedrooms are massive. This room was bigger than most 1 bedroom apartments. So the bathroom was amazing. It had a jacuzzi soaking tub. It had a rainfall shower. It had a secondary bathroom that no one used because Pauline said it wasn't good enough to do makeup in.
The lighting in the 1 bedrooms is not great for getting the vanity lighting.
So whatever. But that was a serious piece of magic for me. It might not ever happen again. I hope it does. I love upgrades.
He hopes I get trapped again.
No. Nothing like that. I hope for check-in upgrades, like my wife not getting trapped in a room. I hope for non-life safety issue upgrades. That's what I'm hoping for. But if that's what it takes. So, okay, David Zachary has mentioned Bob Chapek again, so I'm going to
Stop. Be nice.
David, I swear to God, you say his name one more time, you're going to
He's gonna
timeout.
write it like 10 times though.
David said I used the second bathroom. Surprise.
He did. I used it too. I just didn't use it to like put makeup on.
Okay.
Phil wanted me not to use the other bathroom because it was his bathroom.
Okay. None of you have ever traveled with my wife. She brings our entire bathroom, minus the water closet and the shower.
I knew David would write that Chapek a million times.
Okay. So, so David's in timeout now, and going back to. We're going to go from 13 to 12 here in a second.
I know. You got to unblock him.
No, I'm not unblocking him.
Okay.
He's in timeout for 300 seconds. He can wait for 5 minutes. He knows what he did.
Is it let you do it for 300 seconds?
That's just what it does.
Oh,
it's 300
cool.
seconds. So, what were we talking about?
I don't know. Last thing I remember was I was trapped.
Oh, yes. No. None of you have ever traveled with my wife. She brings our entire bathroom and part of our pantry with her. I'm serious. There's 7 different moisturizers, these like black mask things. There's stuff is everywhere.
For him.
The stuff is everywhere. It's like, and I need a space to just with my like toothbrush and stuff to get ready in the morning, and sifting through this nonsense of these tipped over bottles of crap everywhere it's anxiety inducing. So Pauline wouldn't talk to anyone. I had to talk to the manager and the maintenance people and get this figured out because she, the idea of conflict like sends her into a panic attack, which is fine. I don't mind dealing with it. I got us the upgrade. I got us the statement credit. I thought, hey, maybe that means that I'll have my own space because we've got 2 bathrooms and I can have the shower that I actually fit in, because the shower in the other room was not tall enough for me. So I figure the shower I fit in and the bathroom that I fit in, maybe I'll be allowed to use that one and have it be my space. But that was apparently an unreasonable freaking request. And Pauline would not accommodate me in any way, shape, or form. So the second bathroom went unused. And next time I'm probably just going to take all her stuff and every morning throw it in the garbage.
Hey, you said I was very clean, and I was. I cleaned the room every single day.
I said that to you because it was the last day and you were sad, and I was trying to say something nice to you. You were not clean. Your stuff was everywhere.
No, I was very clean.
No, you were not.
No, don't believe him.
Okay, whatever. David, it's Phil's dream to just ride the Disney buses with Bob and get some Figment merch. John, I love you, buddy, but you're about to get put in really bougie when you guys start having his and her bathrooms.
That's the Disney dream, I think.
Yeah, that is the Disney.
All right.
I just want a bathroom where I can get ready. That's all. I just without crap all over the place, tripping and bottles are falling in our shower all the time because she has I have one shelf in the bath, and our shower has 6 shelves, and I have one shelf for my stuff, and I asked her not to. No, I don't, because you've taken the second one.
Okay.
So of these 6 shelves, I only have one, and my 2 bottles, my body wash and my hair crap have to fit on that one shelf. And they do, and there's a little extra space. And guess what? She has the 5 other shelves in that little sliver of space in I'm washing my hair, and I'm big, and I'm moving around in there, and the bottles are falling, and they're hitting my feet. It's like little grenades. They're blowing open onto my feet, and I've got some weird, creamy goo on my foot. It's a nightmare. So I was just trying to avoid that, but
I went in the shower, brought my stuff in, and took it out every time I took a shower.
That is a lie. Survey says that is a lie.
Anyways, people, let's talk about Tragical, like this conversation. No. Okay. Mine's going to be brief because I feel like we've talked about it a lot already, but the hours of operation are just terrible.
Okay, so David just went and made a YouTube account called Bob so that he could comment, and I'm going to put that user in timeout.
That is dedication right there.
It is.
David, honestly, you should go and troll people's accounts all over the place.
You should put that Bob Chapek to good use. So, but Bob Chapek has been put in timeout. So that is more gratifying than putting David in timeout, is to be able to say I put Bob Chapek in timeout. So,
All right, let's see. So, hours of operation, we've already talked about it a little bit thus far, with restaurants hours being not long enough, with the other big thing is the parks. The parks closed at like, I don't know, around like 9 o'clock, I feel like every day, some even like 8. I just felt like normally when we go to Disney, we'll go to dinner and then maybe be able to go to the parks after. That was not a possibility this trip, and it made me sad, especially being right at Bay Lake Tower. Like, I would have loved to like go into the parks for like a late evening, just walk over to Magic, which I did, but we had to cancel our dinner reservations in order to do that. So it just, I wish the parks were open later. That was a tragical for me. So I don't think you care as much because you don't go to the parks at night typically. So he's munching on his smokehouse sausage sticks.
So the only parks I'm really interested in going to after dark are Tower or Hollywood Studios to ride Tower of Terror.
Yeah.
And Animal Kingdom so I can walk around Pandora at night, which I've never done. So other than that, parks at night, I mean, the only really good thing about that is that it's cooler than during the day. And maybe there's less people. I don't know. I like the parks at night. I'm usually tired, so I don't go back. So my next tragical is merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
So we went in December. What was our December trip for?
Christmas.
Just for Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
just to go because we wanted to go back to the parks. So we went for Christmas, and as you guys saw from our merch haul, we bought a ton of stuff. A ton. And now that I've been back, or no, was it? We bought a ton of stuff for, for our December, and we did a big haul. And I've been back a couple times now, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And
no, this was the next time.
Okay, yeah, this was the next time. They have no more new merch since we were there in December. And the stuff from December, I remember seeing from the last time we were there. And
yeah.
Of course, there was a big closure period and whatever, but the same merchandise has been in these stores for like a year and a half now, almost 2 years. And yes, pandemic, I understand. But their merchandise is on 18-month cycles. So I know that there's a warehouse full of merchandise that they're ready to roll out at any time. There's probably 2 cycles worth of it at this point, but they're not because they're trying to sell through all this other stuff. And I've been there 3 times now and seen all the same stuff. And so in total for merchandise this last trip, I spent between gift cards and my own money, I spent $115 on merch. And that was three mugs and a beach towel.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Wow, David, just wow.
What do you do now?
Figment and Bob Chapek is his new account.
Okay.
So anyways, this is out of control, David. So one thing I talked with Amy about merch at one point during the trip is that I feel like they just don't have, we feel like they don't have a pulse on the Disney World person. I don't know. I feel like they have the 2021 merch literally everywhere. And I don't know how many people were buying that. But they don't have merch for like the resorts or the rides. I feel like that's what people feel a more deep connection to. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I just don't think there's a lot in the two other things about merch. Pins, they literally I feel like never have new pins, and it just drives me crazy. They did release a whole slew of Epcot pins, which I do appreciate, but in general, I just feel like they're not rolling out the pins quick enough. And then the other thing, I just was super disappointed with all the flower and garden merch. I just thought it was ugly and sad looking.
One thing I wanted was that bowl. And then people say, oh, it's a planter. Use it for plants. I was going to use it as a cereal bowl. I don't care. I was going to eat cereal and ramen noodles out of it. And then I got it, and I had it in my hands, and I was excited. I was like, finally, a piece of merch I'm excited about. And I look in there, and who's in there? Figment. Figment in his stupid face looking up at me. I was like, wow, this is garbage now. This is garbage. Mm-hmm. And, like, to Pauline's credit, the pins are slow, but they did come out with a whole new series of pins for Epcot. They did pins for all the different they're countries. Cute. They're not though.
No, they're nice.
Stupid.
No,
they're stupid.
Nice.
I would have loved if they were actually appealing in any way, shape, or form. I would have bought them all, but they're like those little cutesy, like hipster.
I like the
Minnie.
cutesy pins.
Whatever. If you're only,
But yes, Amy, I agree. We need to be on Disney's merch team. So Bob Chapek was in here. Bob, if you're listening, Amy and I need to work for you.
I'm going to put you in a
Anything else about merch, Phil?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about some magical things, Phil. Okay. So this was a question a little bit earlier. My mother-in-law, Victoria, asked, and she said, how did you get that picture where you were on the ground? And she's talking about at Magic Kingdom. So this is kind of ties into this, which was a magical moment for me. So I did my first trip to Magic Kingdom all by myself. Phil stayed back in the room. He so lovingly agreed that
I didn't know you were going to be by yourself.
Okay.
You told me you were going to meet Elaine and David.
Okay. That's not what happened, but okay. Anyways, so I think there's this lure of experiencing the parks by yourself, and if you ever get the opportunity to, I would highly encourage it. You don't have to go on a trip by yourself, I think, to experience the parks yourself. Just going in by yourself for an evening or a part of the day is a really great experience. So I went to Magic Kingdom, walking distance right from Bay Lake Tower where we were. It was a 10-minute walk from the bottom of Bay Lake Tower to go through and do your Magic Band in the entrance. So I went there. I went on Pirates. I got my first ever chicken fingers at Cosmic Rays, which I like.
Had chicken fingers before that
at Disney.
Oh,
yeah.
Were they different? Was the chicken? Did it taste like beef?
It was a chicken finger, but it was in Disney, so it's always better. And then I did shopping. So by the time I was eating my chicken finger, the park was closed. So it was past 9:00. So I ate my chicken fingers. It was probably maybe 9:30 or so. What?
I would have gone to Disney Springs to get something to eat, but you said you were going to be back by 9. You didn't come back till 11.
This is the big debate.
I have the texts.
This is the big debate about the Magic Kingdom evening. Anyways,
I have all the proof.
Okay.
I have. Proof
I messed up. I left Phil to wither away and not eat. He had no food.
No, but I could have gone to Disney
no
Springs.
means. You literally told me when you left that you were going to go to Disney Springs.
And then I texted you and I said, "Are you sure you're going to be? When are you coming back?" You said around 9. You came back at 11:30
Okay.
at night.
Anyways, so at park was closed. I ate my chicken fingers. Then I went shopping on Main Street. And by the time I was all done with everything, it was about 10:30. And Main Street was completely cleared. And I got to take some pictures with the castle. So our friend David had asked a cast member. Apparently they start kicking you out 2 hours after closing. But no, after the park closes at 9, the rides close in terms of they won't let new riders in, at least to my knowledge. But if you're in line, they'll let you ride the ride. And people have dining reservations and things like that where they're still eating. So they're not kicking those people out. But the merch places are all open too. Why are you laughing?
Jim.
Oh. So yeah, if you want that snapshot of Magic Kingdom, just kind of hang out after park hours, make a late dining reservation, do a little shopping, and you'll get that picture. And you could do it. I've seen people do it in front of the Millennium Falcon in Hollywood Studios. There's probably lots of other places too to kind of get that fun picture.
All right, we just ticked back up to 14 viewers, so there it is.
What?
Dr. Nigel Channing. There's David. I was going to say we just ticked back up to 14 viewers, and I was wondering what the new stupid thing was going to be.
Yeah. Well, let's read back some of these questions. Yes, so going back to the merch thing, Magic in Michigan is right. They should pay closer attention to what's going on in Etsy. I totally agree. However, I feel there's another part of me that's kind of I feel sometimes they just go crazy and like copy one thing and like do it a bunch of times and like don't diversify like what people enjoy. They have a lot of those Etsy like shirts, and I don't know. I think they overdo it with that. So Jim said that he's a casual Disney goer. The merch doesn't change much. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And also there's boxed lunch out there. I feel like boxed lunch is getting better pins on Disney. So, and yes, Elaine, if Bob Chapek is listening, yes, I would love to help with the merch. What movie was Phil watching? So while I was in Magic Kingdom, Phil watched the electrical light pageant, which I'm sad I never got to see from our balcony. So you win some, you lose some. And I did not report to the chaperone. So at one point in the evening, Phil thought I was lost. Within 4 minutes, he thought I was dead in a ditch in Magic Kingdom. But I finally answered my phone. So how can you eat chicken tendies without Phil? Phil does not want anything to do with quick service at Disney. So that was an easy feat.
Not in a ditch, in hubgrass. Yes, hubgrass is much better than a ditch.
All right, Phil, anything? Phil didn't go by himself, so he can't really add anything.
No, I can't comment. So am I doing a magical or
yeah, magical?
Okay. So my next magical is lower than posted wait times. And you were using the touring plans app. So Paul and Amy introduced us to the touring, and David introduced us to the touring plans app, which is like kind of crowdsourced. Other users are timing their time in the line and reporting it back to the app, and it's updating in real time because of that, because of the user content. And like for, I don't know, what's a good example? Not Splash Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It had a posted wait time of 35 minutes. It was a walk-on. It seriously took us 6 minutes to get through the ride. And touring plans made us aware of that. They're like, it's posted. Right. It's posted 35 minutes, but expected wait time is like 12 minutes or something like that.
So in general, like at least right now, the wait times are shorter. But if you want to get a more accurate depiction, you can download the touring plans app.
It costs money.
It's $17, but it's a year subscription. I think it's worth it to be better informed of what the wait times are, especially because there's no fast passes right now. So it really helps you optimize your trip if you want to get on more rides. We didn't do a lot of rides at Christmas, but this allowed us to make more educated decisions and do more rides.
Yeah. Yeah. And today, what David is saying is, it's a full touring plan subscription. Yeah. And they offer a lot of different services.
They do something, I guess, where like they can help you get dining reservations and they like automatically look for you. Yeah.
Wouldn't we use Elaine for that?
No, it's like it's dining reservations.
She doesn't do that?
I don't know. Okay. She doesn't need to do that.
Okay, well, whatever. That's cool. All the homegrown stuff that uses real metadata, way cheaper than that FastPass stuff Universal has. Elaine uses touring plans. Elaine Edwards says, thank you, Phil. Yes. So full disclaimer, the touring plans offer services that are in direct conflict with our travel agent. We suggest using a real human being for your travel stuff.
This is only for wait times.
Yeah, use Elaine. If you want a real travel agent that's going to help you do real things in real time, use Elaine Edwards. That is our official Mouse and Mermaid recommendation.
She does find dining reservations.
I told you.
Sorry, Elaine. I'm a bad friend.
But to Jim's credit, yes, the real metadata stuff, that's clutch. And that was good. I didn't think I needed to download it, so I didn't download it. She bought it. I didn't think we needed to buy it twice.
I wonder if I can put it on your phone and you can just use my login.
Oh, well, I'm sure we can figure that out. Yes, I find who's Elaine. She sounds nice. I think I would like this Elaine. Heart. Okay, you do. A couple of trolls. Is she Russian? No, she's not Russian. To the FBI agents that have now logged in, please just ignore that.
So here's I have like a little theory about the wait times too. I think Disney knows the wait times are lower. I think they're trying to convince annual pass holders not to come to the park. because I think annual pass holders will like look at the app and say like, oh, the wait times are a little high today. I'm gonna like cancel my park pass for the day or something. So I'm kind of thinking Disney probably knows the wait times are high because it was kind of like an across the board constant. So
Bob, person who will remain unnamed, the son of a very nice lady, doesn't like APs. Hey, I gotta go soon. Bob just showed up to personally show me the 2022 merchandise spread. Thanks for joining us, Jim.
Yes,
we appreciate
thank you,
buddy.
All right. So, Phil, let me do a tragical. This is our second to last one. Okay, this is my tragical. Ride sharing at Disney Springs. This is like a really specific and like petty tragical, but I think ride sharing is great. Like at Animal Kingdom, they pull you right up to the front of the walkway. You get right up front. Disney Springs is atrocious in my opinion. They put you all the way over. You're basically at Saratoga Springs, or you are literally like a 5-minute walk from the circus tent, like on the other side of Springs. So if you have a reservation at like Boathouse, which is like right in the middle, you need to like allot like an extra 15 minutes just to walk to your place. It's just, I don't know why they don't also have a central drop off. So you could say like east, west, or center. Yeah. That's my little pet peeve because I don't know, we're in a weird spot where for us it's cheaper to Uber the whole time rather than rent a car. If we Ubered every single place we wanted to Uber, it would be cheaper than it would be for us to rent a car because we would need a little bit larger of a vehicle. So that's just my pet peeve because we have to Uber. Because also earlier notes of, well, we haven't gotten there yet, but yeah. It's no surprise we hate Disney transportation.
Which didn't used to be the case. I used to love the Disney buses, but whatever. But yeah, Elaine, central drop-off would be great. When I was there in February, the rideshare dropped me off in the parking garage, which was amazing. That would have been amazing.
Yes, they won't do that for...
Maybe if I, instead of selecting Disney Springs, maybe if I put like Lime Garage or Orange Garage, or like actually ask them to bring me somewhere. We'll have to try that out next time. Amy Power, thank you. You may have just significantly improved the quality of my life.
Yeah, tell us if you did ask for a certain thing. Because we did ask our Uber driver in December to bring us elsewhere. And he was like, no, this is the only drop-off. So...
Amy Power has all the tips.
Yeah.
All the good tips. She's out there living her best life, just figuring this out for us.
Phil, do you have a tragical?
Yes, I do. I do. Where is it though? Oh, yeah. So my tragical, ironically enough, is Disney transportation. Why is the monorail to Epcot down?
Yes.
From the Contemporary. The bus driver says it's because of the Polynesian constructions. However, those two being completely separate lines does factor into that. So why does it take an hour at a bus stop to get a Disney Springs bus? Seriously, we went out there to try to make our we had a dinner reservation at 7:05 and we didn't get there until like 8:40 or something stupid.
Yeah.
Because 9 different buses came and went. 4 of them were for Epcot. 4 of them were for Epcot. And it took one bus driver named Sandy to recognize what was going on and fix the situation. So Sandy, you're a G, you're a total gangster, and we love you, and you did the right thing. But Disney transportation, on a serious note, is a joke right now.
It's the logistics of it. Above all, their logistics process is atrocious.
It is. And you think that after being in business for almost 50 years, they would have had it figured out by now. Mm-hmm. They don't. And it's compounded by COVID. We understand that.
Yeah, certainly. But they're not leveraging any technology to assist their drivers in making educated decisions. And their drivers are just going back and forth from the hotel to the one park. They should have knowledge enough to be able to switch routes, still attend to that hotel, but go to any one of the parks or Disney Springs and know, okay, here's when the last bus came. I don't understand how that would be so easy for them to figure out if they had like an app or something.
Yeah.
They could literally write on a notepad at the bus stop when the bus driver just gets off and write the time. Like, it couldn't be easier, and they just refuse.
Yeah, it's also compounded by the fact that we talked to a Disney bus driver who's been with them for a long time, and used to be one of their shift supervisors before he went back into the bus. And he told us that they are currently down 600 bus drivers.
Wow.
So the fact that their wait times have gone from 20 minutes a bus to like 35 and being down 600 drivers, that's still pretty impressive. But they're not their inability to communicate and like do things consistently. Consistency is key here. It just makes it a tragical for me. I mean, we couldn't even count on the monorail, which is something we were banking on. And like our Bay Lake Tower reservation wasn't any less points because we were missing an amenity. And it goes back to the only thing you can expect for those points is a room. But part of the reason why those resorts have higher point chart values is because they have upgraded amenities like the monorail. And when the monorail is down and you were counting on being able to use it, that sucks. So that's my little complaint, whine, and cry. Oh, poor me, I stayed at a beautiful resort.
No, but honestly, they're taking away the Magical Express. They're taking away other amenities that guests like. The transportation needs to be perfect, more perfect than it ever has been, because they're taking away other things. So
yeah, like the only reliable source of transportation at Disney right now are the boats.
Skyliner's reliable, in my opinion.
The Skyliner does like break down though, and if the weather's bad, they can't run it. I'm never going to trash the Skyliner. I love the Skyliner. It's clutch. I think it's, other than the boats, I think it's the best form of Disney transportation, 100%. But those boats never stop.
No, the boats stop with weather.
They don't miss a beat. They just keep going. The boats stop for weather, for inclement weather.
Yeah.
But
Skyliner's the fastest.
The Skyliner just breaks down randomly.
Okay. I think it's getting better though.
Yeah.
But yeah, what drives me crazy is it's not like the Yeti in Animal Kingdom that's broken and they can't fix it. Like, it's not like something like that. It's like there are so many ways they could fix this poor transportation, and they're not doing it.
Yeah. So they need better leadership in their logistics department. So that's the end of my second to last tragical.
All right, let's do something happy. We're gonna end on happy, Phil. See how this worked out? Okay. Okay, so here's one of my magicals. Cooking in your room. I never thought this would be magical for me, but our friends Amy and Paul invited us to their Copper Creek cabin for an evening, and we had a little Mexican fiesta. We cooked chicken and shrimp and rice and corn, and it was a lot of fun. It was easy.
The rice was not Mexican, it was Persian.
Oh yeah,
it had Persian rice.
But it was delicious, and I never I don't know. Phil probably has a totally different attitude about it. Like, when I go, I also kind of understand, like, when you go on vacation, you don't want to cook. But it was easy. It was fun to enjoy the room. It was fun to kind of hang back and not feel bogged down by the crowds. So I really I would recommend, if you have the opportunity to, if you have the amenities in your room to, just take one night and cook a little meal for yourself there.
I have a positive opinion of it in this instance, because we were doing it with friends and it was fun. It wasn't like we got to cook dinner, this sucks. It was okay. We're all laughing and having fun in the kitchen. Paul is out at the grill with me, and we're laughing and having fun and carrying on and trying to figure out how to cook these shrimp. I'm not going to snitch on Paul on how we figured out how to cook these shrimp, but we got it taken care of.
Oh, you need to tell me offline.
It was a very unorthodox practice. So,
oh no.
But either way, everyone was pitching in. Everyone was helping. David took 2 hours to cook his rice, and it came out great. And everything was fine. It was a ton of fun. But would I want to cook in the room, just Pauline and I? No. I want to go out to eat in that situation, because it's just like, I don't know, doing it with friends is different than just doing it yourself, I feel like. It's not that I don't want to hang out with Pauline or anything stupid like that. It's just that the only reason that it was fun is because we did it with friends. Otherwise, it's just It's like being at home. You have to cook yourself dinner. Why would I want to do that when I've got all these world-class restaurants surrounding me?
Yeah.
Cooking for my kids is the worst. John is back and he still hates his children.
What's your magical?
Oh, so my magical actually had nothing really to do with me. It had to do with Paul and David, which was rental cars. So Paul and David both rented cars, and anytime we were ever doing a group activity, which was 80% of the time, we either rode with David or Paul. And they got us where we needed to go. We didn't have to wait. We didn't have to pay. We didn't have to do anything. They bore the expense, and we benefited from it. And having a rental car at Disney, this is the first time I've ever experienced that, is a game changer. Because getting to the parks and parking is not anywhere near the labor of atrocity that I thought it would be. It's just showing up and finding a space and walking in. It was great. What's happening?
I just had to fix something. All right.
Do you have any comments on rental cars?
I love the rental cars, but we're in a we need a larger car if we would go.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So.
Some comments too. Let's see. Amy said, going back to the transportation, that the Skyliner and boats at closing were so long. We experienced that once on New Year's Eve, but that's about it. Cooking with friends and with wine is fun. Cooking for kids is the worst. Oh no. Cooking in the cabin also seems different than cooking in a one bedroom. I will tell you this. I think we had more counter space in our one bedroom than there was in the Copper Creek cabin. I also can tell you that I'm pretty sure we also had more like plates and cutlery and all those kind of things in our one bedroom.
I don't know. That kitchen table in the cabin was massive.
The kitchen table, yes. But the actual cooking kitchen area was not really that large.
I feel like there wasn't a huge discrepancy in size, which for the point value and the actual size of the actual room is its own house. So yes, it should have been much bigger than it was, but I feel like Copper Creek had more. I feel like it wasn't that by that much, but it definitely was bigger.
No.
Okay. Whatever.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you my last tragical. Okay. Yes. So just to go back, Elaine mentioned there's no parking fees because we're DVC too. So if you rent a car and you're staying on DVC points, there's also a value add there as well. Okay. Tragical for me, imperfections in the park pass system. So Park Pass puts, and some of you in the comments might be able to explain it a little bit better. I think you have a little more knowledge on this, but it's in different buckets of people who are staying on property can go to the parks, people with annual passes can go to the parks, and it can't tell, the platform's not intuitive enough to know that we both have annual passes but are also staying on property. It kind of overrides and is these people are staying on property. So even though annual passes might be able to get into a park, they cannot get into the they cannot get a park pass if it's sold out on the hotel side. So that is annoying. I also find it super annoying that if you don't go to your first park that you've parked reserved for, you can't hop.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And they also dock you if you don't show up, which I appreciate that. But I feel I don't know. If it's lower crowd, they're closing the parks earlier. That's because people aren't going in more the evening times. It's later crowds then. They should be opening up that second half of the day a little more, in my opinion. So I think they need to kind of expand things or modify the park pass system now that things are opening up a little bit more.
Also, park hopping should open up at noon. There's no reason for it to be 2 p.m. That's stupid.
Well, the problem is the parks aren't opening crazy early either. So, I mean, Epcot opens at 11.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I think that's why it's at 2, but it's still kind of ridiculous. And I think they need to modify it a little bit more.
Okay, so I have a tragical. My last tragical was something incredibly petty and doesn't really make sense to complain about considering that we were going to Florida. But I'm going to complain about it anyway because that's just how I roll. The heat. The heat was oppressive. Okay, the heat. The sun hits me first because I'm taller, and I feel I don't know. It was really 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 hot. Like it drained the energy out of me super quickly to the point where I wanted to be staying in the parks, but when someone was like, "Let's go back to the resort," and thank God for Paul because it was usually Paul. Paul's like, "We're gonna head back to the resort and do whatever." I was like, thank you, Paul, thank you, Raptor Jesus." So I can go back and like chill out and relax. Because it was oppressive. I mean, we've been there in June and the humidity was there, so it was worse. But just the straight up heat, like the oppressive heat, and not being able to like duck into anywhere you wanted to go to get air conditioning because there's social distancing and there's lines to get in places. It made it difficult. So luckily, we brought like 80 ounces of water in 2 different huge bottles with us every day that Pauline was kind enough to mule around for us. But without that water, we wouldn't have made it half as long in those parks as we did because there's no real place to escape the heat if everyone else is in the place with air conditioning or
Well,
shade.
and that also ties into like the shows aren't happening. Like you can't go into like watch Finding Nemo and get air conditioning. It's just the nature of the vacation is altered.
Amy, you got to remember to plug your nose and close your mouth before you go.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, you need to head over to our Facebook group. It's pretty hilarious of Amy going, she's totally fine, but she went down the ladder slide and got a little water in her mouth. It was hot. I think Phil is unprepared for other heat in Florida, but we'll get there. Okay.
I've been there in June. I know how bad it gets, but when we were there in June, when it got overwhelming, I could say, "Screw this! I'm going to the Polynesian and getting a drink," and that's not the reality of it right
now. Okay. Last thing, we're gonna end on the magical, Phil. Okay, so my magical is seeing the boardwalk area at night. It was really beautiful. So we had dinner at Blue Zoo. You heard all about our experience. But then we did like a tour of the boardwalk at night. So we went past the boardwalk. We went over to Beach Club, and then also Swan and Dolphin. And it is just beautiful over there. I've not been over there in the evening. Certainly a lot of the like the entertainment is not happening now. So there's no jelly rolls. There's no like strolling magicians and things of that nature.
now. Some of the light bulbs are out.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and Dooley G piano or whatever. Like the N in dueling piano is not illuminated. So it's Dooley G piano or whatever. They were like trying to make it into an Italian name.
Yeah, and also the ESPN Club. I don't know. They got some like signs up there that almost look like they're like the construction like foam like insulation. It looks not great. Whoever was the graphic designer for that needs some help. But yes, the boardwalk at night was so nice. I can't wait to go back and like stay at Beach Club or Boardwalk and kind of enjoy those areas because they really are beautiful. And I think like kind of this also blends into like another just like magical thing. And I see other kind of maybe people who live locally, Instagrammers I follow, just appreciating the resorts and like appreciating exploring the resorts. Just like hanging out in a lobby. I don't know. Just the resorts at Disney to me are just as magical as the parks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm more of a resorts guy than anything else.
Yeah. So John said Boardwalk at night is special.
Boardwalk at night was a lot of fun, especially because our whole crew, like people could have just said, "Okay, dinner was nice, see you later," but the whole crew stuck together. Amy, Power, Lauren, and Tim. They came and they walked around the whole thing with us, and Amy was actually staying there that night, so she had some kind of unique insight into what was happening like during the day and stuff, and she was telling us stories. And Lauren and Tim, they own at Boardwalk So they had some insight for us and just showing us around. And I've never been on the boardwalk before, except for once we went for ice cream and I didn't even really know where I was. We like left Epcot and walked, and then there was this huge area and I wasn't all that familiar with it. That was back when I didn't know anything about Disney. So it was really cool at night. It sucks to see them kind of letting it fall into disrepair a little bit. There were some screws sticking up from the boards, and some of the boards were loose, and just some of the lights were out, and it looks like some of the paint was fading. I don't know if I don't know if they're wanting it to look kind of artificially patinaed like that, like kind of like the Coney Island boardwalk or whatever. But if that's the look they're going for, they're succeeding. But I feel like that area is it's its own thing. The boardwalk area is listed as its own amenity at Disney World, and I don't feel like they're doing it due justice and taking care of it properly. But I truly, truly, truly enjoyed it. So my last comment is a magical, and I think we lost a couple people because this has been so long-winded. You guys have been with us for 2 hours, and it sucks that they left because this is the best part and it involves them. But my number one magical, the most magical thing for me was going with friends.
Yes.
And for a variety of reasons. A, because you kind of get to see things through a different perspective. Going on rides with friends and sitting with your buddy next to you was a lot of fun. Also, all the people we were traveling with were Disney experts.
We were like the Disney not experts of the group.
We were the novices of the group.
Yeah.
We didn't know half as much as stuff as the other people. And usually when we travel with our family, they're kind of relying on Pauline and to a lesser extent me to know what's going on. And it was just kind of nice to just be like, hey, we know nothing in comparison to these people. So just let them do what they're going to need to do and show us around. Also, I don't know. It's just like doing everything at Disney. It's like experiencing Disney for the first time all over again.
Yeah. And I think that goes with like if you go with new family members, if you go with new friends, if you go with anyone new in your life, it's kind of fun to like experience it in a new manner. And they may have been to Disney World before, but if you're experiencing it with them for the first time, it's kind of like a unique first time for all of you.
Yeah. And it's just like, there's so many other like fun little moments. Like you're just like walking with Paul down an alley and the rest of the group behind us, and then just hearing out of nowhere in this shrill voice, Elmo loves you. And then hearing David literally skip up next to us. I don't know. It's just like fun little moments like that made it incredibly special for me. And it's definitely going to go down as one of my favorite Disney memories of all time. And it's something that it's memories, and it's memories that I'm always going to treasure. But also, we were friends with these people before we went. We talked every day, but this really kind of, I don't know, cemented the friendships for me. Like these are people that I'm going to do everything in my power to stay close with for literally the rest of my life. So
yeah. And if you travel to Disney like alone with your spouse or by yourself, I would definitely recommend like travel with other people you love, because it, like Phil says, Disney will help like cement these amazing memories and relationships and deepen your, connection to the people around you.
Yeah. Like one of my best friends lives in Florida. He actually lives in Orlando, like half an hour from the park. But because of COVID, he hasn't been able to meet us out at any of the parks any of the times we've been down there so far since we met. And it sucks, but now I know what to look forward to when he and his wife can come and join us. And I'm just so looking forward to that, because he's another person that I talk to literally every day. We have our own video game podcast that we do together. That is, I'm not even going to tell you what the name is because it's so wildly inappropriate. I don't really want any of you people going to watch it because you see a whole other side of me that I don't want presented here. But just Disney with friends is special, and we've got more friends trips coming up. And my friend that lives in Florida, he and his wife are both fully vaccinated now. So the next time we go, we'll be able to see them, and I'm excited for that. So,
yay! And there's so many people I want to go and experience Disney. It's kind of, and I think that's the beauty of us being DVC members is we'll keep going, and like every trip can kind of be a new adventure in a new way. And even if there aren't new rides or attractions, if you go with someone new, it's like experiencing Disney all over again.
So,
I think that's pretty much it.
I mean, you guys have been with us for 2 hours now. If you have any questions, we can take this last 10 minutes or however long to answer them. But other than that, thank you so much for stopping by. Let us know if you have any more questions or comments.
Yeah.
It was Copyright claim.
It was a fun trip though. It went by so fast.
Yeah, it went by way too fast. I can't wait to do our first full 7-night friend trip. That's the next aspiration. And well, no, the next aspiration is Friends Cruise, then Friends Trip to Alani, and then full length Walt Disney World 7-night stay.
Yes. Okay, first question was best festival food, the spoon bread.
Yes, absolutely. The spoon bread at Honey Bistro was kind of like a cornbread / like cream corn mixture, but it was way more like baked.
Yeah.
But
you need to go and get it. Like it needs to be the first thing you get because it is warm and it is like a comfort food.
Don't let it sit under the heat lamp. It won't be the same thing.
Well, and
we got there as it opened.
You don't want to be like sweating all day and then eating that. You're not going to enjoy it in the same way you would as like fresh.
Yeah. It has pork in it though. So if you have dietary or religious restrictions, be aware of that.
Yeah.
It has bacon in it.
Did you have some sort of announcement?
Did you have some sort of announcement? I kind of screwed that one up. No. I'm sorry.
Well, we'll probably do a next trip announcement in another live. So speaking of food magic in Michigan, that they mentioned it. We always, after our trips, do this Tragical and Magical, and then we're going to do just like a full rundown of all the things that we ate. So, yes. So we will do another live that includes all of that, and I will probably promise right here that we'll do an announcement.
Yeah, next trip announcement and next live, which will be later this month or next month.
Yeah, something of that nature. Yeah. It'll probably be like next month and also like maybe a birthday live for me.
Oh, yeah. Your birthday is next month. That's right.
I don't know what that means. Do I get like a cake on the live?
Do you want a cake? I can get you a cake.
Yeah, I do want a cake.
Okay. Get you a cake then. So it's after me.
Oh my God. I could not go that soon.
Andrew and Jessica are like, they're breaking it down. They want to know what's going on.
No, it is not.
You'll always get
it's not before May.
If it were up to me, I wouldn't get cake on my birthday.
I don't get cake.
You don't. You get key lime pie.
My mom makes key lime pie on my birthday.
For up to me, I would get homemade cherry pie with real cherries, not out of the can, for my birthday. Or, I love carrot cake too. So either carrot cake or like cherry or blueberry pies, that's what I would want. But like the traditional vanilla or like funfetti cake, no, trash.
Funfetti, I love funfetti.
Trash.
Funfetti with the strawberry filling.
Trash or treasure, funfetti cake, trash. Straight trash, in the trash.
Bob J. Pickle type happy birthday to you, Polly.
Okay, well, with that.
Yes. Well, guys, thank you so much. We're also going to be back. I got some editing to do, but we're going to be back with our Christmas trip vlogs. So we only have one of those out, so we have a bunch more coming out. We are going to, I don't think I've told Phil this yet, so surprise. We're going to be filming our merch haul today from our Disney trip. We got to get that out. The people want to see what we got, Phil.
People are lucky.
They want to see all the mugs.
Yes. Well, our merch haul. I don't even care that we have to do it today because it's going to take 6 minutes because we bought nothing.
We didn't really buy that much. I bought a lot of pins though. So
yeah.
And yeah, so there'll be a lot of fun stuff coming out. So I thank you guys so much for listening in. And yeah, we'll see you in the comments, in the group, on Instagram.
Yeah, go check out the Facebook group. That group's growing pretty good, and it's a fun little community. And you get to watch people go down water slides.
The Magic in Michigan wants to know, there are pins for my brother. There's 2 pins for my brother, not as many as last time. I personally bought a lot of pins this time. Not a good amount.
I think I bought 1.
Yeah, I probably bought at least 10 pins.
I buy a pin for every resort I stay in, so I bought the contemporary.
Yes. Oh, and there was a new one too. It's really nice. I like it.
I got it because that's what was available. But
yeah,
peace,
love, and Kwaherini.
See you guys.